DIY with Chris, giving you the tools to do it yourself.
Hello everyone, we're getting ready to do a video on how to install the seat covers for the 2018 Honda Odyssey. Not sure what other years this actually applies to. We purchased these seat covers. I do not recommend that you finance seat covers or any of these accessories with your vehicle when you buy it, because we did buy this vehicle new, but we didn't finance it with it because they charge way too much for it. Okay, so there's two other places that we looked at that were significantly cheaper than dealership, and I did go to the dealership afterwards as well and checked with the parts center, and I checked on the prices. I checked on the prices for them just to have it shipped to them, and then I would do it myself, as well as the prices for them to install them. So I compared the three different places. I compared the parts center at the dealership, the E-Parts Honda store, and Amazon. And so we compared the cost of shipping plus the price of the actual product itself, and everything. We took everything into consideration, and then we purchased the best deal. So these are all the OEM Honda products, and some of the stuff that we are installing on the van are the seat covers, the splash guards or mud guards, the roof rails, the crossbars for it, and the hitch system are just a few things that we're installing on the van, and they're all OEM. We ordered all of these, and we only ended up ordering a few things from Amazon, and then the rest of them were from this store, which is the estore.honda.com. So that's the Honda e-store, and those guys offered approximately a 30% off of MSRP when we were purchasing through them. So I highly recommend these people. They did also ship all of these products to us in Alaska. It cost a little bit, but they did try and work as much as they could with us to try and get the shipping down for us. So I greatly appreciate the customer service and the help that the e-store offered. I am not affiliated with them in any way. I just happened to purchase some stuff for them, and I'm very happy with the service that I received from them. So I'm not sponsored at all. Just giving you guys the knowledge because it was a much cheaper place to buy them than even Amazon. They beat Amazon on most of their purchase prices for most things. And if you're actually down in the lower 48 near them, I'm sure that the shipping will definitely beat out on pretty much everything that you can find on Amazon, as compared to me having to ship stuff to Alaska. So this is the box that the third row of seating came in. So I didn't get to pick the color or anything. This is just the OEM stuff that it comes with, and I just wanted to go ahead and purchase the OEM version just to show you that this is Honda's actual version of stuff. This is the quality and everything, and then the pricing on them. So I'll go ahead and put down below in the description the links to all this stuff, so that you can check it out yourself. I'll put it to both the Amazon link and then the Honda parts store link as well. So something that you will notice that the box says is it doesn't come with any instructions. If you do want instructions, you have to contact the dealer themselves, or you can go online to their website at the Honda store and watch some of their videos as well. So nice thing about this is I'm pulling them all out of the packages because they all look pretty dang similar, right? And so I was curious if I was going to have to guess and see what in the world seat this fits. But the nice thing is on this tag here, you can actually see that it tells you which seat it goes on. So every single one of these tags has this on here. And so this one says rear left. The other ones will say like rear right, rear center. The second row of the seats do say mid-row, left, right, and center. The only downside I'm seeing to this is, weirdly enough, there were no seat covers for the front row, for the front two seats, which was really odd to me. So I'm going to have to go back and try and find some matching ones later, aftermarket. But these are the ones from the actual OEM Honda store itself. So my other question right now, which I haven't really got into, is it does say rear left, but are we talking about left as we're facing forward with the vehicle, or is it as we're onlooking? I'm assuming that it's as we're facing forward with the vehicle, so we'll just start from there. So some of the pieces, some other things that you do need to note and notice is that there are actually a lot of different pieces for this. So the headrest has its own piece. The actual bottom of the seat has its own piece. The top of the seat has its own piece. These are all separate seat protectors. So it will be easy to move them and whatnot, which means being them separate pieces, they are going to be a lot more custom fit to the seat itself and give you better coverage. And then especially when it comes down to the folding aspects and everything to them too, it is going to give you better features. So we'll just go ahead and start off with something easy here. And like this one says the rear center. So we'll take the rear center, go ahead and lift this up. So we'll just put that up like that, and that sits on there really nice and snug. And this fabric is really thick too, so it seems very durable. It's also pretty slippery, so I'm guessing that there might be at least a little bit of a protection from fluids. I think that it might have some wet protection on it so that it might just slide off. Possibly, I'm not sure. It didn't actually say that in the description for any of this. The descriptions to get this OEM products were very vague also, so you'll just have to keep that in mind. We're going to go into the care instructions real quick just so you are aware of them as well. It says do not wash the seat covers with other items, use medium load settings, gentle cycle, wash in warm temperature, use half the detergent recommended for a normal load, do not use bleach, line dry only, do not machine dry. So those are the care instructions for it. Go ahead and do this next one here. I am just going to confirm that my assumptions were correct. This says the left rear, and that is the left rear as we're facing the same way as the vehicle. So good way of telling if this particular piece is the top or the bottom is just look for the headrest holes. So you have two here and two here. There are holes on the back here too, and these holes they're going to be for a few different things, but it does also have the car seat back latches, so that for that back piece that goes over the seat and latches down. So it has the holes for that. Also on the front here, you'll see the Odyssey symbol in there. And then it does have a few of these little pieces right here. They're little discs that are sewn into it. And it has the car seat picture on them, and that is matching the existing discs that are on the seats themselves. So this will still give you coverage, but it won't cover up the actual car seat latches. So that is a huge plus on that. We'll have to remove these headrests in order to get to them, in order to put this car seat on. In order to remove the headrest, you just press this tab at its highest position, and then you pull it up and out, which is actually pretty difficult to do on these side ones because it didn't fit very well right there. This is what the back of it looks like. So the back is still exposed, just so you guys have that knowledge in case you don't like that look or whatnot. Now that we have those off, and something else that I am noticing, like there's this hole right here which will still give you access to the strap to collapse your seats and everything. So this is a very good fit, which I feel like you'd be sacrificing a lot of that stuff if you went aftermarket. Non-OEM style. There is Velcro on the back here. I'm just pulling it as tight as I can and latching it in place. so it's nice and tight. And I'll give you a rear picture which shows all of the cutouts that were in there and the things that this is still exposing. We did have room to go ahead, and those holes do stretch enough to allow you to put it over these, so everything is pretty custom there. The Velcro, now this is going to feed all the way through, and then it's going to latch onto the Velcro that's back behind. So I'm going to pull it out the back end and then just Velcro it together. Alright, and that is that piece installed. So the best way to do this one in order to get it back in is just tilt this seat back and we'll drop it in. Next thing we're going to do is put the bottom on. You'll see this hole is for the seatbelt buckle. And then, so I guess probably the first thing I'm going to do is feed this Velcro through. It also has this hole right here, which is for the middle latch. And then it doesn't look like it's going to go far enough over, or there is actually another hole in the stitching for that last one as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put these two buckles through and then feed that Velcro all the way through to the back, and then I'll pull it back this way a little bit until those holes line up with the latches. Velcro doesn't stick as good on that side. So there's the middle, still have full access to these two buckles. Something that I am noticing that would be kind of an inconvenience for car seats is these holes where I can push down on this and it'll expose that buckle pretty easy. And on this left side, because of how tight I have this seat protector on it, this one is staying exposed. But probably if I installed this a little bit differently, if I actually adjusted it more, then that would close again the same as this one. And so those buckles aren't fully exposed the whole time. If you're kind of a stickler with how your car looks and whatnot, there are still spaces all over this that have the original tan that is exposed. So if you care about that, then that is something. This one will go up top. So we'll start with the top again. So again, we're going to want to tilt this back in order to remove the top there. This side's going to be the front because again it has those little buttons that show the car seat thing, so we'll match that here. There's the top. And there's just this little Velcro patch. If you're actually trying to pull it nice and tight and go underneath, the underneath material there doesn't catch very easy, so you do have to leave it up far enough to where it can catch on the normal seat material. Something that I'm noticing on this bottom is that, so if you'll actually see back here in the corners, these eyelets are kind of popped open right now. I was able to achieve that by pulling extra tight on the Velcro back here and then securing it down, so that just kind of pulled it and gave me a lot tighter coverage, but it opened those eyelets a little bit. You'll see that is the final configuration. These are this is the rear configuration and the stuff that was actually exposed. So this hole is here. I did have to pull this strap out through the hole and put it back down. So something that's on the normal seats is there is this little Velcro pad, the hook and loop patch, and they went ahead and put this on the seat covers as well, which is really awesome. Then you have the back anchor for this side. The back anchor for the other side is still exposed. It's not even, has nothing to do with the seat cover. It doesn't even go near there. And then it still gives you the instructions on how to actually put the seat down and everything. So all of that is still exposed. On the right side, we have the adjustment strap, the same as before. I had to pull that out. And then what I was talking about with exposing those eyelets up front for the car seat latches is I just pulled really tight on this Velcro. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to undo the work that I just did, but I just pulled really tight on this Velcro and I pulled it all the way down to this latch. So again, this latch is exposed, but I pulled the bottom of this all the way down to the latch, and that gave me the tightness that I needed in order to create that eyelet portion. And then they both have the holes up here again for this adjustment on both sides. With the headrest down and everything, you'll never notice. If you do care, that's what it looks like in the back with the headrest up. But the really nice thing about this is Honda did a pretty good job matching the color scheme with the black on the black, so those are pretty well the same color, and I think actually looks really good. And then you have the tan and the tan, which is the exact same color as the rest of it. So even though they're different colors now and parts of it are exposed, it still matches the rest of the van, so I don't think it looks bad at all, and I'm pretty impressed with it. We'll go ahead and get started on the middle row now. Something else that we did just notice, which confirms what I was thinking, if you look on the inside of this, it does have it looks like to be very water resistant material on the inside, and that's probably why it doesn't want you taking it through the dryer, and that goes the whole way around. So it is a thick material, which will really help when you put the car seats on there to give the protection for the seats themselves, and then it is water resistant, so if they do spill and whatnot, that's also going to help protect it. And then we also threw in the aftermarket floor mats from Tough Pro, and those have the honeycomb pattern, so if any water gets down there as well, it'll stay on the floor mats, versus the factory ones that came with it were just the material. They were the same as the carpet that's already in here. So both of those two together, I feel, are going to provide really superior protection for this van and help it stay in the best condition possible for the longest time, as long as, you know, we treat it well. Other than that, this middle row comes with a few more additional pieces. So it does have the headrest portion, which is pretty easy. It says the headrest. This one also includes your armrests. Just have to slide that over. That's definitely more difficult to get on. We're going to try a little bit different method this time. We went inside out on it. We'll see if that helps it at all, but it's actually it's pretty tough, durable material, so it's actually pretty hard, and I don't think that this way is going to be any easier. I'm guessing that this is going to be the hardest part of the entire install. So this one did definitely get further up on the first try. Will probably overall require less finagling, but now my tags are exposed and that'll be pretty annoying. This one is the outside seat. This is the only one that's in here, so we have it scooched over to the side. Make sure that you get the seat belt there on the outside. Feed this. So there is a big slot there, which there's a large rail back here for the rear car seat latch. And then there is Velcro on the side. It's going to be a whole lot easier with two people for this installation. Okay, so that's the top portion, headrest and sides. Then we have this one for the left side again, pull the belt buckle. And then we do have those eyelets for the car seat latches. So this one does have this little pad, which I can tuck. I think this is a way of securing it. I can tuck it in between the seat and the plastic down there. It has another one of the pads here. Pad here in the back. So for these ones, I think it's going to be a little bit easier. May not have to move them out of the way, depending on how you configure it. So I'm going to release this back Velcro, guide it up to where I can get those latches exposed. And then I'm going to pull on that Velcro again, pull it nice and taut, so that it opens up those eyelets, and that's going to keep that exposed. The last seat that we're going to do is just going to be this middle one, because this other side one's the exact same as this one. This one has something interesting. So the entire back is exposed on this one. This will help out. And that's why the back is exposed, so that you still have access to your cups, your cup holders. I could see that being annoying because it doesn't really sit real well. Kind of be nice if they designed something to where it could go under the lip there or something. So this one again has one of these little tabs. Another tab on this right side. Small tab in the back here. One thing that I am seeing here, which does bring me a little bit concern, is now with these car seat covers on, the van on the interior is essentially black on black. There is, you know, a little bit of tan up top and whatnot, but that is going to bring a stupendous amount of heat. So I have noticed already, because the color of our van is the like ruby red version, so it already draws in a lot of heat. A special feature that that at least this year has on the key fob, see if I can start it while we're in the vehicle here, but on your key fob you have an auto start thing. It doesn't actually start the vehicle, but it does go into accessory mode so that you can access your climate control system. So what this will do is you have to make sure that it's set before you ever leave the car, because when you turn this on, it just goes back to the original settings in which you had it on before. So in order to activate this, you just press the lock button and then press and hold. This feature does allow you to, it will start the car for 10 minutes. So just do it 10 minutes at a time. You can start it up to 2 times in a specific time frame, or before you actually start your vehicle. I forget what that time frame is, but you have a limited amount of starts. I am really pretty impressed with these. They look pretty good. It's kind of nice to have the badging in here, the Odyssey badging, just show that it is OEM and everything. And I do really like this van, so I don't mind that at all. Once we have these ones installed, unlike the other seats have the little eyelets for the car seat latches. This particular one, if you'll look, it actually has that badge right here, the little kind of button one that shows the car seat stuff. So this is as simple as you just pull out on that tab. Unfortunately, now you have a tab to keep track of, but then you have your latch right here. So it just conceals those latches when you're not using them. All right, so we're just going to give you a final overlook of how it looks. So there's the outside. We're going to have that ruby red look, exposed tan on the sides. The seat covers do not cover that. Go ahead and move that back. So there is that second row. It's that box that the seat covers came in. So there's a second row with the middle seat down for the cup holders exposed. And you have the back row. If you have any questions, please let us know. If anybody else knows the answers to those questions and I haven't got back to them yet, go ahead and feel free to answer those. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We're going to be doing a ton more videos on the 2018 Honda Odyssey and all the things that we're doing to upgrade it post-buy, because we initially bought this and we didn't get any aftermarket stuff for it, or we didn't finance anything aftermarket with it when we initially purchased it, because I know that I can get it a lot cheaper at other places and install it myself, which is going to save a ton of money. So subscribe if you want to see any of those videos. We also do videos on my other vehicles, the motorcycles, woodworking projects, and then house improvement and just other maintenance projects as well. So you can subscribe for that so you can stay alerted for whenever we upload videos on those. And other than that, have a great day. DIY with Chris, giving you the tools to do it yourself. DIY with Chris, giving you the tools to do it yourself.